This one is from a report on NBCnews.com.
Everything's birthed from a foundation. And that's the difference between black and white. All we knew was the white man had the gun. If we had him, we had to hide him. Because there were times where they did not allow us. The system did not allow African Americans to even possess them. So now we're catching up. That's really what we're playing right now.
Sorry.
While no one keeps track of gun sales by race, firearms dealers across the nation have reported a rise in the number of African Americans buying guns since the election of Donald Trump.
Racism is alive and well in the US of A, and Mr. Trump's election had a lot to do with race. It was already there. It just brought it to a head, and now we're seeing the results of it with the guns and more people arming themselves.
Who here is have zero experience with shooting? Okay. All right. So
the concern over safety and security is so personal. The Fellowship Church of God now offers safety courses for gun owners. Pastor Jones was one of the first students.
People feel like they don't have a voice in the government, and that the government is changed to a point where it doesn't care about protecting them. It cares about something else completely and another group of people. And so when you have that, you're going to have people losing confidence in police protection, losing confidence in their political structure. When we're talking about, though, dealing with the police, don't mention the scary G word of gun. Use things like, I'm licensed to carry. This is not about your rights. This is about your survival. Just that simple. We are legitimate members of this community, and not all the time do others always recognize that. They talk about Deacons of Defense. Martin Luther King himself applied for a concealed carry license. Many civil rights organizers carried firearms for protection. The Black Panthers were some of the reasoning behind some of these gun laws that were put into place because we were utilizing our Second Amendment rights. We've been a part of this community for a very long time. We just haven't been a huge voice. That's what we're claiming right now. We're claiming it.
You can see the rest of this story over on NBCnews.com. Very interesting. And again, something interesting that I wanted to bring up and just throw out for discussion. To me, again, ownership and the ability to look at the Second Amendment and say, I have the right to defend myself, whether that is because you think that the government is now on the other side of where you are. Again, I think it's up to everybody to be able to defend themselves. I don't think why you go and do that is that big of a deal, Timmy.
I think it's ridiculous to think otherwise. I applaud these guys for getting into the gun world. I think it's hugely important to be able to protect yourself in any situation. And anybody who climbs on that bandwagon, I'm with. And honestly,
I don't see where this
I hate the racist aspect of it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see where this is news. I mean, people are buying guns. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, I think the part of the rest of the story is about how it's related to church and how church groups are training together and making it something that they have no problem saying out loud.
Well, and then they're attributing the whole thing to Trump, like
right,
which is cool, man. If that's what is actually taking these people that direction, and I mean, there's enough media hysteria out there to drive probably a large number of people to go and get their guns. Just like when Obama went.
That's what I was going to say. There's plenty of redneck fanatics that bought a shit ton of guns.
Think about this, and again, there's a couple case studies. There's a couple case studies within the article and within the story. Again, places like Austin, Texas, known to be a liberal hotbed of Texas. Michael Cargill, owner of Central Texas Gunworks said that in his store, it's been inundated with calls. Sometimes people come in 15 or 20 in a row from all across the state and the country, people looking to purchase firearms for the first time. The majority, he said, is from the majority, he said, are blacks and members of the LGBTQ community who found him through the National African American Gun Association's website and are eager to do business with a black-owned gun store.
Well, I mean, if you think about the media, I mean, the media is portraying, Trump's America as being, we're back in Alabama in 1960 and, you're going to get lynched for walking down the street. I mean, that's seriously that's the kind of rhetoric that's being
not only that, Casey.
Some of the people around this country feel like a lot of the rhetoric from Trump and his supporters is racist. You can't deny it.
You know what? Not only that, we are the most divided we have ever been as a country.
Absolutely.
We have multiple groups going after each other to the extent of threatening over Facebook and other social media sites to actually go to arms with people. We are the most divided we've ever been since probably the 60s before my time.
Which is what you would figure would be the opposite coming off the heels of a two-term black president.
Absolutely. You would think so. But honest to God, it brought to light, well, we're not even going to get into it, but it's
this article, NBC, as I go on and on, is incredibly has incredibly hostile rhetoric, and Tony's chiming in again. Thanks, buddy. NBC trying to divide us again using race and firearms. It's not working. He's been approached by many more African Americans since Trump won.
Would you realize that this is a bridge too? The guns are a bridge to the ideas and principles of conservative people. I mean, that's technically where that goes. This is a bridge for those folks to come over and hear some of the other side of things. You know what I mean? And I think anytime we can bridge that gap is good, man. It's good for the country. It's good for gun owners. It's good for the Second Amendment, but it's good for us as a people.